I like comic books. I read a lot of X-Men. That was like the one for me, and I like the Marvel films a lot.
Right.
To the woe of the people around me.
Yeah.
But I'm not like massively into DC.
Right.
I've always been a bit bored by Superman, if I'm honest. Like,
Okay.
obviously, I love the Batman films.
Yeah. There's backhands and middle fingers, and they change. You know, it's funny when that played in Gulf countries and Asian countries, India, Pakistan, those kinds of countries. That was replaced with a fist bump.
Oh, really?
I heard that was replaced with a fist bump.
So,
the finger,
really?
and the kiss at the end did not happen in any of those countries. Yeah.
I want to suspend disbelief, and I want to picture good things. I want to see, Superman save every civilian. I want to see the bad guy get taken away. I want to see Palestine free at the end.
Yes.
Ready?
Yeah. I was trying to answer this like a TV show.
It is a bit like a TV show, but it's not. It's Kino with Gunn, episode 4, and I'm here today with. I first saw this guy doing stand-up when, I think 2 years ago, and I was like, "Fuck, that guy's funny," and then I realized he was still in uni. And I was like, fuck this kid.
I graduated. It's like a year.
That's even more arrogant.
No, but...
He's a very talented comedian, filmmaker. Please welcome to Kino with Gunn, Osman Shibli.
Hello, hi. Thank you for having me.
Yeah,
this is a fun show to prepare for, because watching the movie that I get to choose is great.
Dude, thanks for preparing. You're the first person to come.
No. I thought this was like what you expected. You know what I mean? I really wanted to come prepared.
No, the rest of the people have come very comparatively to you. No, it's great to have you here, buddy. And Kino with Gunn, just to react, get an interesting guest to come hang out with me on my terrace, and they pick a film. And then I watch it, and then we discuss it. But this film we actually both watched recently because it just came out. Because Osman chose the new James Gunn Superman, and now you have 2 minutes. Give a full recap. Spoilers in the recap.
Spoilers. Okay.
Yeah, because this would be impossible to do. I know the film just came out, but
okay. 2 minutes. Superman is Superman the way you know him, the way you've always known him. He's battling aliens and robots and shit like that, and he's winning. And when we meet him, this is the first time he's ever lost a battle, and he calls his dog Krypto to come get him. They heal up. You see how his powers work. Everything gets explained. Very self-explanatory, and then it's just a bunch of bullshit from the comics just pushed in, and then they keep doing just the next plot thing until the end, Act 3. And at the end I came out and I was like, I don't know what all that was, but I know it was cinema. You know what I mean? I know it was cinema. I came out of that and I was like, this was great. Whatever that was great. That's my opinion. That's my take, but also the recap of the film. He goes on adventures. The main plot, I guess, to actually go into it is
because some people listening won't.
Because some people, maybe you haven't actually seen it. Maybe you're not going to see it, but this is your episode. Basically, Superman stops a potential war escalation in the fictional city.
We'll get into it,
taking place somewhere away from America. Whatever this place is, it's not near America, because there's brown people and there's people invading the brown people. So that's like the pretext for the movie, and he stops that, and that creates, as in many Superman movies and stories, international outrage and many people condemning him for what he did. But it's like, what would you do, man? You have all those powers. Are you not gonna stop the war, the big thing that's happening? Anyway, that's he gets backlash from that. He turns himself in after a talk with the most attractive woman on the planet, and I would do it too. I would also turn myself in if I talked to her, and the villainous Lex Luthor comes onto Superman, and we find out how deep his hatred really is for aliens and Superman in particular. I loved it, honestly. Like, I don't know how to, like, obviously there's, I acknowledge I'm not that type of, like, fan. I do like comics as well, but, like, I acknowledge that it's a flawed movie, but I did like the whole experience of watching it. That's my 2 minutes. It's probably way
No,
longer
mate,
than
it's
2
nice.
minutes.
It's a pretty
but-
complex film. I would just say, like, yeah, there's like an invasion going on. There's like a land war going on in random made up Arab country, and it's being fueled by technocrat Lex Luthor. And if you don't know Lex Luthor, he's like a billionaire genius, smartest man on the planet.
Bold guy.
Bold, very bold, famously bold, and hates Superman. And he's fueling this whole thing, and he's trying to take Superman down a notch. And you think for a while he's trying to do this because when they do conquer this land, he'll get half to make his own state. But then you find out he was doing this all just because he wanted Superman to fall from grace, so that he'd have like a carte blanche to kill Superman. Because he just fucking hates Superman. He really hates him. This film is not an origin story. We kick off with Superman. And one of the first things I want to tell you is what I mentioned to you before. I went to go watch this with my friend Barney, a friend of the pod, Barney Harris, and he was like, immediately like, oh, he didn't know much about Superman going in. So when he walked in, it like kicks off like Lex Luthor, Superman, all this sort of stuff. He was like, I don't know what's going on.
That's the thing. That's what I loved about it. Is it's in the same way that a movie like Across the Spider-Verse or Into the Spider-Verse, the first one, when that came out, that was it used the knowledge that audiences had of Spider-Man from the last 18 years from the start of the Raimi trilogy, all the knowledge that we've gained, and real life stuff like the Spider-Man popsicle thing in the start of that movie. That's a real popsicle, right?
Yeah, I've seen those.
And so it's like they're using knowledge of like real life things to inform the movie. Everybody knows where Superman's from. We've seen that about 1 billion times on TV and movies and comics and everything.
And there are going to be like one or two people, like my friend who's like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But I think for the most part, most people know Superman. For the most part, boringly good guy.
That's the thing.
And Lex Luthor, bald guy who hates him.
But this is the thing. The criticism is always like, oh, he's so boring as a character because he can do everything. But this is a story where he's made interesting. You know what I mean? Like, every time I hear like, oh, he's so boring, I'm like, okay, well, read a comic book where they make it interesting to be in the scenario that he's in. I was like kind of glad to have read a comic book earlier this year called Superman versus the Authority, which is one of the comic books that James Gunn said he read while making this or writing this or whatever. And that's like very like conceptually in this movie when he's at the edge of the black hole bit and he's like almost like tussling with reality and it's ripping apart and stuff like that. I love that because you haven't seen it really in a Superman movie so far, but Superman versus the Authority and other comics have all that and more, and they make interesting scenarios for Superman to be in, where it's not just like like in this movie he saves a squirrel, but also he like tosses his Bizarro clone into the black hole or whatever. It's like you can do both, you know what I mean? And it does seem like a lot at certain moment. It is a lot of plot, but I think it's fitting for what Superman is. You know what I mean?
It's plot. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on. It's really like high action, high octane scenes moving really quickly, which I think is like kind of the trend towards movies right now because like people's attention span just can't like handle
the TikTok generation. cut go from him to me. But this is the thing, it's like I think when this came out, people were immediately doing the compare this to the 1978 version, which will always happen in every Superman movie because he played that so well. And he was such a pure person in the sense of like he was a good person and he donated to stuff like that. He was like Superman in real life, Christopher Reeve, they say. And so you can't really get past that adaptation, the Superman 1978, but I think what that did at that time in 1978 is kind of what this movie is trying to do. It's taking what we know, and it like the monkeys that type random hate comments for Superman or whatever. That was hilarious to me because it's like that's probably somewhere real. It's probably happening somewhere. I don't know if it's monkeys typing, but it's definitely someone typing there. But that whole idea of like, we all know what that means. We've all seen hate comments that look like that, and we all imagine who the fuck is writing that. And it's like, oh, that's funny. That's a funny. It's using the knowledge of the audience
for context,
for advantage, to its advantage.
For context, Lex Luthor, who again can't stress how much, and we're gonna get into this. We can't stress how much of a generational hater this guy is.
I love it. I love it.
Like
he cries. I love it. He gets to tears. That's how much you know you hate someone. These days, it's popular to be a hater. Everyone's on Instagram, TikTok. I'm on my hater era. I'm in my hater era. I'm hater vibes, whatever. You're not getting brought to tears by your hater, by the person you hate. Lex Luthor is a different. He created a pocket dimension to hate. He created a war in a third world country just to hate on Superman. That's a different level of hate. He's killing random brown people who sell falafel just because they talk to Superman. That's a different level. And I honestly, like, it reminded me of the Penguin show that came out earlier. And obviously those two, DC, it's in contention right now. Whether this movie does well, I think, whether they'll bring it together. There's arguments for and against, but the Penguin show, it was so good because, in my opinion, it doubled down on him being a bad person, and in moments where you expect a show to be about a hero. Episode 6 of 9, he takes his first leap towards being the hero. In this, it's flipped. For the Penguin, it's flipped. And so episode 6 out of 12 or whatever they do on HBO, it's he takes the next step towards being evil. And it's such a different dynamic. You don't see it often. And they double down. And it's this doubling down which you haven't seen. I think I've lost contact with in movies. Whereas like people don't stand by the message, or they don't even do a message in the movie anymore, bro. Back in the 80s and 90s, movies like somewhat stood for something. Like they literally had a Rambo start with "Thank you to the brave fighters."
Brave Mujahideen fighters.
It's like you're all right, man. They would never do that. Imagine if this movie started with "Thank you to Palestine Action" or whatever. That'd be terrible.
But well, actually, people were complaining a lot online. So we'll talk about this for a bit. People complaining, like obviously the right wing pundits and stuff were complaining. Like, this Superman's gone woke. That was like the big headline, and he's just gone woke. And then certain Israeli groups have boycotted
but this is
the film.
I'm so glad I watched it early because I watched it without all of that, and in the oncoming days, I got like the onslaught of this movie just becoming a culture thing, and I'm so glad I watched The Divorce from that, because it is low-key like hindering some people's experiences watching the film.
But you don't think it was political in a way?
No, it is political. It's very political, but I don't think you should go into the movie being like, well, we win in this one, guys. It's like, well, let's watch a Superman movie. Let's enjoy the Superman movie. As much as we literally just talked about how that's a big like parallel, it's still like it's still a movie. Palestine doesn't have Superman, you know what I mean? So
for now,
exactly. One day.
So for context, there is a war going on with a U.S. ally who's heavily armed and just like far more militarily superior to a neighboring nation who are far less developed, and then that U.S. ally is essentially invading and trying to villainize that group. Then the president of the U.S. ally, the bad guys, if you will, is comically Russian.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe like a
Eastern
bit,
European,
Eastern European
somewhere
could be
there.
like perceived as very like Jewish or stuff.
Dude, and he looks like a cartoon of a bad guy.
It's the actor from Triangle of Sadness as
Is
well.
it?
Yeah,
Oh, okay,
yeah, he's
there you
fantastic
go.
in that. And something Darich.
Right.
Shout out the
Well,
guy.
that's
Come on the pod.
that's what I love about like that part of the movie is like it's not subtle and it's not trying to like. This is the thing. I knew as soon as I came out of that movie, people are going to talk about this, and it's going to become the mainstream talking point of the movie.
Yeah.
The mainstream are only talking about this part of the movie, and the rest of the movie is being discussed by different groups or whatever. And like people are saying, "Oh, did you hear about what Ben Shapiro said about this Superman movie?" It's like, no, man, I don't get my film opinions from Ben Shapiro. You might treat him like he's Anthony Fantano for movies or whatever, but I know he's like a failed screenwriter or whatever, but I don't trust his opinions on movies. I never have. I don't trust his opinions on anything. I don't know why, like, it's like a crazy thing that Ben Shapiro doesn't like the movie. Yeah, he doesn't like a lot of things. So why are we surprised? He doesn't like... he probably wouldn't like Spider-Man. He probably wouldn't like any other like superhero movie that presents itself with woke kind of values or whatever, like a person.
But it is so timely there, and it's hard not to talk about it.
But that's what I like about it.
It could have been like you could have perceived it as Russia, Ukraine as well.
Yeah, you could.
Except the people are brown,
and the people are brown.
And then, you know, a lot of the scenes. There's someone like point out that like the scenes of the flags being raised, the Superman flags being raised in, let's just call it DC Palestine.
Yeah. Jahanpur.
Jahanpur. That's what it's called. And they pull up the Superman flag. It's like mirrored image with like scenes of like Palestinian flags. Raised.
Oh, that's the imagery was crazy. It's almost become like a competition to see how many times people in my friend group cried. I cried like 2 times. That was like one of the moments.
In the film?
I think. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Because that was like the most. Because that's really the moment where it sinks in that you're like, oh, the thing that this is parodying. They don't have that in real life.
Yeah.
They can put the flags over, but they can't call Superman or whatever.
Superman's gonna come.
That's the thing that like ultimately depresses you. But then it's the hope, and Green Lantern shows up. Hopefully, Guy Gardner's gonna show up in real life. No, I loved all the DC characters. That was my favorite part.
That's interesting. You cry at the film. Are you a film crier?
I didn't used to be. I used to be severely depressed from like 15 to hell yeah. From 15 to like 17, I used to be like severely depressed. I couldn't cry. And then like 18, I started getting in touch with my feelings more. Nice. And that sounds hilarious. Nice. But like what's it called? And so I started like crying more in films at home, and then when I was like 18 in Qatar, it was a pandemic, so there's nothing to do, and like the malls would be like there's nobody there, so I'd go like early morning, go to or either early morning or early night and late night, sorry, and go to a movie and just cry because there's no film culture in Qatar.
Does the movie matter, or is it
no, just to cry, just because I lived in Qatar, just cried to live. Yeah, no, but it's I'm glad that like it's pushing people to talk about that, and like you said, like you can take it as Russia, Ukraine, and the conversation, even that is elevating those 2 conversations to people who would never have seen any of those 2. I mean, it's kind of impossible if you've lived the past 3 years on this planet and haven't heard of either or. But I can acknowledge that there are people that are put permanently out the loop.
Yeah, well, art reflects culture.
Exactly.
To quote Ice Cube.
Yeah. And this is clearly like the most.
Sorry, art reflects reality.
Art reflects reality. There you go. And that's sponsor us, Ice Cube. But that's what it is. Is like this is the most kind of broad take. It isn't a blockbuster film, and in the future, people will go, "This is what the broad take was."
Yeah.
Is apartheid is bad, guys, and it doesn't look good when there's poor brown people on the other side of a fence and the other side has guns and military equipment. Doesn't look at that. That imagery looks bad. You can see it in the movie. It looks really bad, guys.
There's a great shot of like, you know, Superman might not come, all this sort of stuff. Then there's a kid there and he's lifting the flag. Yeah. And it's a child, and then the guy comes with a gun and takes a shot at the child. But then Green Lantern comes and saves it just before. And I was like, damn, bro, that's
a real scene, and it's one of those things where it's like, it's that in the future people will will analyze that film because it's such a big film culturally and stuff like that, and they'll say, oh, that's a big scene, that was a big scene at the time or whatever. Him being shot or whatever, and then the Green Lantern saving it. Because yeah, that imagery is very reflective of this time.
Yeah.
It's
That's interesting you cried it. I'm not a big film crier personally.
I'm not you. I mean, this is the thing. I
wish I was.
If I connect
tear up.
really I tear up.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think I cried,
Yeah.
but like I teared up at 2 times, and like I'm just counting that as crying now.
What would be your top 3 films like you put on if you want a good cry?
But this is the thing. I never understood this.
You never want to put on a cry?
Letterboxd has a lot of lists that are like films if you want to cry. Why would you want to do that?
Oh no,
man?
sometimes
I know you want to get
cathartic.
your
It's cathartic.
okay, it's cathartic, right?
Yeah.
But just the thing that you want to cry for, just start crying about that. Just start crying about that. You're upset at like a breakup. Don't watch 500 Days of Summer.
No,
just start crying now.
No, mate. I'm a man. I can't like. I'm not allowed. I'm a man of a different group of age group from you. I'm not allowed. I mean, we're basically the same age. But like, I don't know. I'm young blooding you so much. Let me tell you something, young blood.
That's
yeah, you can't cry about the stuff that actually bothers you. But
Yeah.
I think the last film that got me going was the Iron Claw.
Iron Claw, yeah,
Got
that
me
was
going.
like intensely
Because
sad.
I'm also a group of brothers as well.
There you
And
go.
we used to do summers in India, and those summers were like double on WWE, and we'd wrestle
Right,
together.
yeah,
and
of
stuff.
course.
So I put on that film not knowing anything, and I thought, oh, like this is about bros who
You
like
didn't know
wrestling.
anything about the plot?
No,
Anything?
nothing
Oh,
about it.
sick. Okay,
And then
okay.
I was like, okay, like this is about bros wrestling.
Yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah.
texted my brother's group chat, being like, yeah, man, like I'm about to watch this film.
Right.
They're kind of like us, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And then
Got to the
it
end.
got to the end. This podcast is full of spoilers, so it doesn't matter. But like at the end, like all the brothers die except Zac Efron, who's fantastic in the film.
Right.
And he's watching his 2 sons play, and he goes, he starts crying, and then the sons are like, "What's wrong, Dad?" And he goes like, "Oh, nothing. I used to be a brother." And I was like, fuck,
Yeah,
bro.
no.
And I texted my brother's group chat, being
That's
like, I love you
terrible.
guys.
Oh, dang.
Didn't even respond.
No, because they didn't see the movie, would you?
They were just like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly. Weird text. Okay.
And they're in Hong Kong as well. They're Hong Kong and India and stuff, so like the time difference, they were just like,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
9 a.m. They're like,
Well, that's what's
going to
funny.
work, I don't have time for this.
Well, this is what's funny about like that joke of like people. I've heard this joke, and I'm sure you have in stand-up, like open mics or whatever, of like me calling me texting my friend I love you, and then he thinks I'm gonna kill myself or
Yeah.
whatever. That joke that takes a whole nother level when you take into like context, time zones and stuff like that. You're like texting your things, so I love you, and it comes through at 10 a.m. They're at work.
Yeah.
They're like, great, man, fantastic. The sun is out. I love you too, man. If it's at night, that's when it was really bad.
There's a go for you.
yeah.
Iron Claw, Big Fish always gets me.
Yeah.
Tim Burton's Big Fish.
Big Fish.
Yeah, yeah.
I've never.
Oh, I definitely recommend watching it.
Yeah?
It's like a Tim
Okay,
Burton,
I'll
Ewan
watch
McGregor
this,
film. You're writing it down, love.
I'll write it
I'm
down.
a notebook. All guys should bring a notebook from now on.
I'm setting standards here.
Yeah, but I do enjoy that a lot. But yeah, back to Superman. Yeah, it's definitely like a very political film. But what I did like about it as well, okay, is Superman wasn't as whiny. So like Man of Steel, which is Henry Cavill's one, he's got it going on, and then we're supposed to be like feel bad for him in any sense. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, I don't really
No,
care.
you don't.
I like Henry Cavill as well. Don't get me wrong. But
Yeah,
like,
but this is the thing, and it's sad because all the comments in the past week that I've read have been, well, I liked Henry Cavill and he looks good in the suit, but
Yeah.
he just wasn't given anything to do, and
Yeah.
and writing wise and blah blah blah, and people
And his
brought
stupid
recently,
dad.
Stupid dad, why did he die like that in the tornado like that? He could have been saved so easily. Why did he say stop? Your son's Superman, and you want him to stop?
the stupid fucking dad.
That's the worst movie death ever. That's the dumbest series, genuinely.
But in this one, like,
yeah.
Henry Cavill's like complaining about like, well, like, how do I be Superman? This Superman knows how to be Superman.
Yeah, and it's
He's just
also
he's like, why? His like thing. Sorry to cut you off. He's
No.
he's like, I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
It's like the villain is really like opinions that he has to live with a lot.
Yeah.
And again, you get that. Like, if you're trying to be a good person, if you're trying to be like Superman and not like Omni-Man, you have to like keep people on side a little bit.
Yeah.
And he's like, I stopped a war. I stopped people from dying. And why do I have to justify that to
exactly.
anyone?
And there's a quote from maybe Grant Morrison, famed Scottish Superman writer, or someone else.
Fame to you. Fuck.
He's big in the comic world. He's done a bunch of stuff. And I think maybe it's his quote, maybe it's someone else's quote, but it's Superman is not an idea of like super powered. If a superpowered man was real, it's the idea of if a man with superpowers was a good person. That's what it's meant to be. Like, we all know that men with power are bad. Like, power corrupts and that kind of thing. So it's like, what if a guy had all the power in the world but was a good person? You know what I mean? That's what the challenge is. That's why, like, when you watch Man of Steel, you're like, is there a battle inside his head that if he's good or not?
Yeah, no,
not really.
He's just more like, how do I be Superman? Like,
exactly.
Being Superman is easy. It's like dealing with the like being powerful is easy. It's,
it's
dealing with like how to be good.
How to be good, this and film how that really relates to real life, and that's what I like about the characters.
For context, in this film, Superman comes to Earth, as we all know, and his parents left a message being like, "Hey, Superman, we're sending you to this planet. Be a force of good." And then the message cuts off, but then they do find the rest of the message, and that's how he's lived his whole life. They find the rest of the message. The rest of the message is pretty fucked up. It goes like, be a force of good, and then like essentially conquer the planet, create a harem, which I thought was great.
Yeah.
Create a harem, spread your seed, essentially take over the planet. And Superman was like, whoa, that's what they wanted me to do?
By the way, so many people who did not know what harem was found out this week, and it was the funniest thing ever. Some people were spelling it haram. I was like, that's not what that is. That's a separate, that's two different things. Yeah, in some ways.
They're like,
Superman Muslim confirmed?
Superman is...
breaking news.
Well, yeah, I think Superman... Well, no, he's created by... Well, no,
he's Jewish. Yeah, he's technically Jewish.
The character is Christian, I think, because...
his parents are from Kansas. Yeah,
Kansas, and then I don't... But it'd be hard to be religious when you are...
Well, that's the thing. I don't think people have been saying this past week, Superman's Jewish. He's created by Jewish people, and technically he's an immigrant, and all those things apply to the creation of his character, but... I don't think you could be Superman and do like anything really.
I think it's kind of hard. I think at times he references God and stuff.
Yeah, Spider-Man's Jewish. There you go.
Is he?
He is really like And so that's what I liked about this whole movie was.
I thought you were gonna say that's what I like about Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's what I love about Spider-Man is he's New York. No, it's Superman. It's a perfectly Superman story. And he's doing insane stuff that he used to, in the 60s in the comic books. That's what in the comics you call it the Golden Age. He had every power in the world. He could blast little versions of himself out of his palms.
Nice.
And they would do little...
I could do that too, but not out of my palm.
There you go. Got him. He could wrap the earth in like a ball and chain and drag the earth over, and it's like... And obviously they've depowered him. He's 3 years into being Superman here, and that's what it works so well. Is like the movie starts with him being defeated, and that ironically is one of like Ben Shapiro / the right's kind of opinion on this movie is, he's so depowered and he looks so pathetic. It's like, did you watch the third act of the movie? That's the point of the movie.
He gets jacked up as well.
He gets jacked up too, and he's actually taller than Henry Cavill.
Yeah.
And this is what I wanted to talk about. This week, a bunch of pictures have been coming out of Henry Cavill and Amy Adams as Lois Lane from the promotional material and photos of BVS, and then they compared that to Rachel Brosnahan and David Cornsweet as Lois and Clark. And the pictures, and you can see that. I mean, the Lois. I love Rachel Brosnahan. Hi, if you're watching this, hello.
You think she's watching this?
Maybe. And I'm gonna sit up for this.
It's just our parents watching this.
I love Lois Lane. I love Mrs. Maisel. Hello. And but this is what I like about like.
I love the Miss Maisel shout out.
Well, she's great in that. That show is made by questionable people, but yeah, she's really good in that. Yeah, by like weird Zionist people. One of the scenes takes place in Israel.
Is it the one who always wears the top
Sherman
hat.
Palladino, Amy Sherman
She's a
Palladino.
really wears the top hat.
Yeah. But that's what the show is about. It's like a quirky.
Yeah, but it
comedian.
doesn't have to be like that in real life.
but that's what I like about the movie is Lois and Clark are so close, and they took the pictures from BVS and compared it to the pictures from the Superman promo, and dude, the pictures of the BVS promo look like he's like arresting her on like suspicions of something and not handcuffing or whatever,
here.
and they don't look happy together. They look like, I thought about this on the way over here. They've been in a relationship for 2 years in that movie, and in this movie, Clark and Lois have been in a relationship for like 3 months, and maybe that's why they like each other more in this movie. Maybe that's a commentary on relationships Zack Snyder was trying to do. We never know what he's trying to do, but that's what I thought about. Like
there was a lot of chemistry between the leads.
Yeah, and you watch Man of Steel, and you're like, there's no chemistry between Lois and Clark. This is what the movie is meant to be built on.
Yeah, because again, like they're such bombers. In
yeah,
the whole film.
and Lois in Man of Steel has no agency. She doesn't do anything. And Lois in this one, she saves Clark. She goes out of her way to get Mr. Terrific, another amazing character.
Great character. So I didn't know anything about Mr. Terrific. So I was saying to you before we started this, I like comic books. I read a lot of X-Men. That was like the one for me, and I like the Marvel films a lot.
Right.
To the woe of the people around me.
Yeah.
But I'm not like massively into DC.
Right.
I've always been a bit bored by Superman, if I'm honest. Like, obviously, I love the Batman films.
Yeah.
Superman has always been boring.
Yeah.
And so going into this, I did not know who Mr. Terrific was.
Right.
I wish we knew the name of the actor because he did such a great job.
I'll look it up.
Yeah. But he, it was a great, very cool character. So Mr. Terrific is the third smartest man in the DC universe, which also leads me to believe that there's a weird ranking. Like,
buddy, should I tell you?
Does it get published in
DC Comics?
No, but who's
okay. Well, this is
what
the thing.
SAT are they taking?
But this is the thing. People in the DC universe don't know how smart Batman is, and they don't know how smart like certain people's, whoever's first or second. I'm pretty sure Batman is 1 or 2.
I think Lex Luthor is 1.
Lex Luthor, there you go. He's probably 1 or 2.
Then Brainiac, probably.
And Brainiac's an alien.
The ape.
Gorilla Grodd, maybe.
Yeah.
And so it's probably Lex Luthor and Batman right now, and in the current universe that they're talking about. And so, yeah, he is the third. He's the third most like intelligent person. Edie Gathegi, who played someone in First Class.
Oh, he
X-Men
played
First
Darwin
Class.
in X-Men First Class.
Darwin in First Class.
He got kind of hard done by there. And
the character who can't die died.
And I like those.
That classic moment when that happens.
I like those X-Men films a lot.
Yeah.
Especially
that one specifically.
Yeah, it's good. And then I also felt bad though because apparently he was told, "Yeah, you're gonna die in this film, but we're gonna bring you back in a later one."
Oh, that's
and
terrible.
they did 4 of them, and they did decrease, huge decline in quality.
Right.
But apparently he was saying like, "Oh, by the 3rd one, I hadn't got the call back, and I knew it wasn't gonna happen."
Yeah,
Sucks, you know? So you got a second chance with this, and or a 3rd chance. Oh no, he was also in Twilight.
Right.
But he, if you count that as a superhero, but he was so great. That character, you don't know anything about him. You figure it out quite quickly.
Yeah.
And he has a great fighting scene.
Oh, he does. Oh, that's what I really liked is they highlighted at least one character, and I'm glad they chose him.
Yeah.
And people have been talking a lot. So this is what I love about this movie. It's causing a lot of discussion here and there, and there's a political aspect as well, like specifically on Mr. Terrific, of like black superhero characters and black characters in superhero movies, and how James Gunn writes black characters, and it is pretty good compared to other movies, other superhero movies. He's not like the black superhero. But
keep talking.
He's not like the black superhero, but he is like the world's third.
No, the black
person.
superhero is Black Panther.
Black Panther, yeah, exactly. And in culture, he's kind of taken that over.
Yeah.
And I think that's like a...
Oh, you think this guy is bigger than Black Panther?
Culture? No. In culture, Black Panther has taken that
mantle.
Of like, I mean, his creation spawned a bunch of comics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So. But Mr. Terrific is, well, that's what it is. He's the second string. He's a second generation superhero in the DC universe.
Okay.
There's another Mr. Terrific.
Yeah, I actually saw
and so,
a YouTube video about this yesterday.
Yeah, exactly. This is what's great about this. This is what I love about movies when superhero movies do good, is it pushes like the regular viewer who's not a comic book fan to go out and look at what could happen in the future, and it really gets people excited and their cogs turning on.
I was interested to see more and like see what's going on, because I'm a big fan of James Gunn.
Yeah.
And then of this Peacemaker was great.
Yeah,
Suicide Squad was great.
Good, yeah.
So I'm interested to see what he's probably one of the best people they could possibly have chosen to run this new.
He
DC
said
universe.
like he's done interviews in this press run where he said getting fired from Guardians of the Galaxy or from Marvel was the best thing that really happened.
Oh, he didn't get
him.
fired.
He did.
He?
Yeah. For the tweets.
No, because he came back and did a third one.
He did, yeah. He got fired. So there was a big. This is how he has gotten to this point.
Okay.
It's that's why it's like the big irony is this movie's doing so well is in 2018 or 2019, I'm pretty sure, around then, a bunch of his old tweets were found, and this was after Guardians 2, but before Guardians 3. And
they weren't that bad either.
Well, that's the thing.
They were like pedo jokes.
They're
and stuff
weird,
like
Twitter jokes that I
Yeah.
think most people on Twitter would have probably liked in that time if they'd seen it. Twitter wasn't populated as much as it was back then compared to now, and so anyway, I'm not trying to like excuse what he said, but like his
we'd have to look before
exactly. We have to look. I have to read some of them. Some of them are kind of strange, but they're like again, it's one of those things where it's like it's turned out to be a good thing because he got backlash from that. They fired him just kind of itchy trigger finger.
Yeah.
And then I remember I used to have a geek / comic book movie account, Instagram account on Instagram, posting like news and clips and shit like that and memes mostly. But like that was a big day on comic book Instagram. People were like, because Guardians of the Galaxy 2 was a good movie, and so as soon as that happened, the DC had like pounced. And then literally like
but then
a year later,
came back to do Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah. I think
see.
because of the pandemic, I'm pretty sure.
And also, I think all the cast said they wouldn't do it without him.
Exactly. As soon as that was one of the rare
Chris
moments
Pratt, Dave
where
Bautista,
Chris
and
Pratt, even like lady that plays Gamora, Zoe Saldana,
yeah.
she was backing him, and so he's a good director, and I think he's the right person for this Superman, but I don't think he should direct too many films. I think his
I don't think he plans to either.
No, he doesn't plan to. Yeah, he's the head of
set
DC.
The overarching
yeah, exactly.
thing,
and I
then,
think this sets it so well.
Yeah.
It includes Big Belly Burger and Jitters Coffee, which is all these are all comic book references.
I did not get it.
Lord Tech, Maxwell Lord. You see him. He's played by Sean Gunn, who's
from
Thingy. And so it's all little things that hint to bigger things, and I really like that approach of it's a little bit what I dreamt when I was like 14 or 15 to what I thought like this DC universe could become.
Not 14, 15, I think it seems like you still dream about it.
No, I still dream about it. No, I started dreaming about it when I was like 14 or 15, and like now I'm like, oh my gosh, it's finally happening. The DC universe is finally like kicking off the way 14-year-old me thought it might, you know what I mean? And so it's finally like. And he said like different movies will have different tones. He might do a Swamp Thing movie, and that's going to have a horror tone. He's doing Lanterns next year, and that's going to have a more, he says, true detective feel, but I don't know about that. But like a detective kind of story. And so, I am looking forward to this. And this is a good Iron Man 2008 stepping off point to show the rest of the universe, and I'm excited for it.
I think we should talk about getting into like Lex.
Someone's Lex Luthor over there.
Yeah, no, it's nice to have it's nice about being outside the real. You know, we're not faking it.
Yeah, exactly.
There's pigeons queuing.
People are mad at us for doing this.
They've just gone home from work. They
were not trying to hear about Israel, Palestine, Superman. Lex
well, they're going to hear about it. So Lex Luthor in this, fantastic. Nicholas Hoult. So Nicholas Hoult got paid like what 4 times everyone else.
Yeah.
And
did he? I didn't know that. Interesting.
He got paid the most. I mean, he's also like the biggest star.
He's the biggest star.
And he earned his check a lot.
He did.
He really went for it.
He really did.
And I loved how much he just fucking hated Superman.
So
It's
good.
like, and then I was talking about this with my friend off the film, and I've been thinking about it. So like Dan Harmon has a great rant on
Yeah.
Superman, and it's somewhere online when he's doing like Harmontown or
Yeah,
something like that.
yeah,
And he's
yeah.
essentially like, fuck Superman. And it's very
Right.
literally, he's like, fuck Superman. It's this guy who comes to Earth, he's better than everyone at everything automatically. You know, it's like worse than the way, this is all Dan Harmon now.
Right.
He goes like, he's annoying. It's like, if I was the like weird kid at school and people bullied me, you know what's worse than that kid? The kid who comes over and goes, hey, stop bullying him, just because he's fat and smelly and weird and like doesn't know how to read properly. And he's like, what the fuck? And then he's like, you don't get. And then what he hates about him is that he pretends, the Clark Kent aspect,
Right.
that he pretends that he's not better than everyone.
Right.
Like he's like, oh, I need glasses, I'm gonna get a job. It's like, or like when it's Smallville sort of time when he's in high school, he's like, I wish I could play football. It's like, yeah, you can. Throw the ball as hard as you can, and I will figure out a way to beat you. It's like, fuck you. Like, and I do get it. It's so.
Yeah.
I was trying to explain the Lex Luthor hate. Like, I do get it. If you're Lex
Yeah.
Luthor, you're incredibly smart. You've worked probably
Yeah.
quite hard to get where you're going. And then there's this guy who's just an alien. I'm just better than everyone and
Yeah.
everything already. I would be fucking annoyed. And you can see how, like, when he's accomplished everything he's accomplished in his life, the one thing that's sort of mocking him is that no matter what
yeah.
you do, you're not better than this guy, who
Yeah,
everybody
yeah.
loves, by the way.
Yeah, exactly.
No one likes you.
Yeah, literally.
So you'd be going after him a lot. And I empathize with Lex Luthor.
Right.
Because if I saw Superman flying around,
I'd be pissed.
sometimes I'd be like, what the?
Yeah, well, exactly. What
Look at
gives this guy the
look at this
right?
dork.
What the hell?
Yeah, if there's one guy who can fly,
Yeah,
I'd be
no,
like,
that's
nah, mate. I would shoot him.
Well, people try it, and I think like that's what is so good about his take on Superman is that it's not that's why I like the focus on his human family is and it's not, and they're not cast to look like Hollywood actors and shit like that. They're very
They look like real country
They very much
people.
sound like
Yeah, yeah.
people from Kansas and stuff like that.
The dad is someone I've seen before in other stuff.
He's been in something,
But
yeah.
and he's a very like distinguished. Like
They've both been
long-term acting.
in things that I know
Yeah.
are things, and I have.
But they played the role so well as like, we don't really know what you're up to, son.
There you
but,
go, yeah.
You keep doing your thing, Clark.
Yeah. And I like that, like, he's clearly the way he is from the start of the movie, from the minute. There you go. From the minute he calls Krypto, you can see when he's with his parents, he's the same person, and he's like, it kind of proves to people that you can be like good all the time, you know.
But what I say is, you don't empathize with Lex. You wouldn't like. You don't like. I kind of get it. I get where he's coming
I mean,
from.
no, that's what makes him a great villain.
Yeah.
Is like
But
you
previously,
do kind of get
Jesse
it.
Eisenberg's Lex Luthor was also annoying.
But no, but this is the thing. He was annoying in a different way.
Yeah, it was like you're a little dork.
Well, and also Lex Luthor is meant to be with this version of Lex Luthor works so well for this version of Superman particularly, because this version of Superman is so unabashedly good. The Man of Steel Superman wasn't unabashedly really that good, and like he aura farmed while like hundreds of people burned around him. You've seen that meme, and like it's Lex's Superman. This Superman's Lex works so well because the Superman he's fighting against is so overtly happy and carrying children and high-fiving people and saving squirrels. It's like it makes him look so much more cartoonish, and when he gets ramped up, you don't feel like. I feel like if his performance was more toned down, I would feel actually a little bit annoyed.
There is a certain level of patheticness to Lex Luthor,
and I
'Cause
think
it's
he
like,
knows he's
fully
very
aware,
smart
because he's like
yeah.
he goes when he tells Superman, he's like, I wasn't attacking you so I could start a war in the Middle East.
Right.
I was doing the war in the Middle East so I could attack you.
Yeah,
he's like,
yeah.
oh mate, like it seems like you're envious of me. He's like, yes, I am.
Yeah, no,
I am envious of you.
that's what's great about that scene in particular, and just Lex Luthor is from the moment you see him, you know that's what it is, and everybody knows that feeling because everybody's met a guy like that.
Yeah.
And so once he admits it at the end, it's almost
It's
like
not even an admission. He was like, yeah. The way Superman says it, as if he's gotten him.
yeah.
Lex is like, yeah, obviously.
I mean,
I'm envious
So
of you.
from a human perspective, it makes complete sense. Yeah.
I've worked hard. I've used my brain I had to go to college.
Yeah,
I had to deal with people.
Yeah,
You get to just show up and
yeah.
just do whatever you want, and everyone loves you.
Yeah.
I would be like, I've done good. I'm sure it's Lex has done stuff that is good.
Yeah.
You know? It's like
You've seen Smallville.
Yeah, but then you're just like, you have this fucking guy.
Right.
I so get it. You'll be like, I hate him.
But then he does. Superman replies, and he says the thing of like, that's what makes me human, and that's what makes me like that I get sad, and that my dog is fucking annoying, and
yeah. But then Lex's response to that is even better. It's like, stop being patronizing.
Yeah. But I do get both. You know what? At that point, I do get Lex. I do get Lex at that point because I'm like.
Be like, man,
chill.
Dude, I'm human too. Like, life gets hard. Like, no, it doesn't. Not for you.
I do get that. Yeah. That is a little bit of a piss take from Superman. Let's be honest.
It is a nice moment, and it is like, oh yeah, like even Superman has like bad days. But if you're Lex Luthor, it's like, no, you haven't had bad days like me.
Yeah. Human bad day is different to a Krypton bad day.
Yeah.
But then, actually, is it though? Fucking Darkseid throws a planet into you on a Wednesday. That's a regular Wednesday for Superman.
You can still survive that.
He'll survive, exactly.
I'm Lex Luthor. I have to fucking deal, like I have to build stuff. I have to try so hard.
I wish this would have pissed fans off, but in the toys and other promotional material that isn't really film focused, he said Lex Luthor's wearing like a power suit, which he does in the comics and most things.
I think he will in the future.
And he will in the future, definitely. But I think they did that to sell toys, obviously. But also, it was in the concept art and stuff like that. And usually toy makers get concept art early, so they'll make it based on that. But that being said, I think fans would have hated it, but I would have loved it. Would have been so funny to me if this is what I thought was going to happen was at the end when Krypto beats him up. I thought the scene right before that where we were discussing where he's talking about patronizing whatever. I thought he was going to be wearing the suit then, and it's like going to be this big battle where it's like
he wasn't ready.
It's like Lex is about to fight. They've been hyping up the suit all movie, and then he gets in it, and Superman just rips it apart. And
he wasn't ready.
That's what I thought it was because I knew the movie was about.
You got to build to something as well.
You got to build to something. Yeah. But then that would have been a fake out, and fans would not have liked that. Fans hate anything resembling like a story. A plot point, anything that moves the thing forward. Fans hate that. Fans hate, absolutely. They just want callbacks and references and remember this thing from that movie?
Yeah, so I remember one of my friends, we went to go watch, there was like a Marvel film that's something that came out that wasn't like lauded. It didn't do very well. I can't remember which one it was, but or it was like a TV series. I can't remember. But he was like, oh, it's just fan service. But I don't mind because I'm the fan being service.
Right. Like, yeah. Well, that's the thing. This is literally that movie for me. Great quote. Oh my gosh. That I usually would judge films based on films because I do that on my letterbox. Osman S with the pink profile picture. Follow me, please. Nice. For things, for opinions that you got 3 weeks ago from other people. But that's and like usually a film like this, if this was a Marvel movie or Marvel movies, the Fantastic Four is going to come out in a few weeks, and I'm going to judge that on a film basis because. Truthfully, I don't like Marvel as much as DC, and I do like both of them. But like, DC holds a special place in my heart. Superman holds a special place in my heart, and I do think this was inaccurate. And I accept the criticisms of this movie. It's a lot going on. It's fucking breakneck pace, and some scenes probably don't need to be in there. Not the scenes you think I'm thinking of, but like I think it's comprehensively a very good Superman story.
One of my favorite scenes in this film where, so when the Green Lantern gets here, and so the Green Lantern I'm familiar with is
Ryan Reynolds.
John.
John Stewart.
John Stewart, because I used to watch the Justice League cartoon.
Animated,
when I was a kid, and I did like that a lot. Justice League Unlimited, I thought those were cool. So I always thought of Green Lantern as this very like stern black guy. And then I saw Ryan Reynolds, I was like, that's not right.
He's definitely not that.
But then there's different Green Lanterns throughout, and then this guy I've never seen him before. I liked his character a lot. I like Nathan Fillion in it a lot. But there's a scene where he's flipping the IDF tanks. Yeah. And he's doing it with middle fingers.
There's backhands and middle fingers and they change. You know, it's funny when that played in Gulf countries and Asian countries, India, Pakistan, those kinds of countries. that was replaced with a fist bump.
Oh, really?
I heard that was replaced with a fist bump.
So-
The finger
Really?
and the kiss at the end did not happen in any of those countries.
Oh, yeah,
They
yeah.
cut those out because those had that.
Well, no, there's
happens.
kissing in Dubai a lot.
Yeah, Dubai, I guess.
Yeah,
would-
Dubai,
would,
but they do
uh,
cut out
yeah,
gay scenes.
there you
and, certain nudity
Yeah,
and stuff like that.
yeah.
But
Suicide Squad 2016 in Qatar, when that scene when Harley Quinn is trying on like her outfit when they get it out the box for the first time, they like edited on like a niqab onto her. They edited on like a full burqa like
No
thing
way.
over her
Are you
while
serious?
she's like trying it on. And then I mean, it wasn't a burqa, it was just like a block of black.
oh yeah, it's a block of black. Yeah,
And like
it's-
covering her entire
yeah.
body, but not the rest of the
So
scene.
they did that with Oppenheimer as well.
There you go.
Because when Florence Pugh sat
Yeah,
naked,
yeah.
instead of being naked, there's just like a black dress on her.
There you go.
It's just, it's not like a burqa. They just do like a black block, pretty
Yeah.
much, edit on, because you know. I mean, that's not. I mean, like, I would love seeing. I would love seeing Florence Pugh naked. Like, wait, actually,
You have to take a flight to see that. You have to go to a country where there's no censorship and then say that.
no, it is my. I saw Lady Bird in
Yeah.
Dubai, and then.
Oh, that has a sex scene.
Yeah, no, it has a gay. Kiss
Oh, it has a
scene.
gay kiss.
It's
Yeah,
where her
it does.
boyfriend at the time is kissing some other
Yeah.
guy, and then they break up. Obviously.
How did they play that?
No, so that scene was cut. So for me, it just went for like, Lady Bird is dating Lucas Hedges.
Yeah.
And then the next scene, she's upset, and I was like, what the fuck?
Right, because that cuts out a whole narrative. Well,
Yeah.
this is like what was annoying growing up in Qatar as like a film person was. Like, you don't get to see the entire movie.
Yeah,
I
that's
remember
nice.
watching Bohemian Rhapsody, and that movie's terrible anyway, but like, I remember watching that in the cinema, and like...
What was it, like 10 minutes?
Yeah, but that's the thing. He's doing like, there's scenes where he's like sliding down a spiral staircase doing coke, and with a fucking, the king photo of him with the robes and stuff, and like, gay scenes and stuff like that, and it's destroys like your enjoyment of the movie almost. It's still recording. Right?
Yeah. No, I was just checking.
Yeah. No. I sorry. One second. What point I was trying to
Growing up in Qatar, if you will.
growing up in Qatar, yeah. That level of censorship, like, really negatively affects the viewers, and it's kind of bad. You're kind of insulting the people who made it in a
Yeah.
way. I get like a lot of sex scenes are gratuitous, and there's been this big push to be like sex scenes actually don't mean anything.
Well, that's
and
like
stuff
a- so
that.
that's a big-
But it's like narratively, sometimes they do. So you can't say like all sex scenes need to go or all kissing scenes need to go. It's
Yeah.
like that's part of life, man. And so
That's a big Gen Z article that always comes out.
It is,
It's not
yeah.
written by Gen Z, but it'll be like Gen Z.
Gen Z is thinking
wants
that
less
this
sex,
is-
less sex in movies, and I think I'm on the cusp of Gen Z and millennial.
97.
No, I'm 95.
Oh yeah, you are in Gen Z. Yeah.
So they
95, yeah.
I don't know. To my older brothers, I'm very Gen
There
Z,
you go.
and to my younger cousins, I'm not. So
Yeah,
living
yeah.
was quote Vince Staples, too black for the white kids, too white for the black. Oh,
That's
what
Earl
it said.
Sweatshirt.
Earl
That's-
Sweatshirt. Apologies.
Vince Staples is crazy.
Apologies.
I'm a big Earl Sweatshirt fan. That's why I knew that.
But they, do you think, as our Gen Z correspondent,
Yeah.
it's like the Daily Show.
Well, that's why I like about that. That's why I wanted to come on here. Is like, no, I think that.
Do you think sex scenes are gratuitous? Because I've never. Because you said like some are gratuitous.
Wait, set it up for the clip. Do you
Yeah.
think as a Gen Z person?
No,
do
I
you
mean,
think
that's not the clip. The clip is, do you condemn Hamas?
if this gets leaked before I try to make SNL UK or some shit, oh my gosh, I'm gonna kill you, dude. Is Shane Gillis me just fucking put this video out?
Can you do your best Chinese accent for me right now? No.
We'll cut around all this. This is,
I don't know how to edit, bro.
you gotta cut around. I will edit this, man. This will be.
What was I saying? They say some sex scenes are gratuitous. You just said some are gratuitous. I've never found which sex scenes are gratuitous to you.
I mean, I
me an
don't
example.
find them gratuitous. I think that, like you said, you've seen articles where people say Gen Z doesn't like sex scenes and this and that. And I think some people are tired of the ultra extreme that went on in the 90s, and like a lot of crazy shit was done and said in movies and media and whatever, and that kind of was like the cultural kind of breaking point in the West, at least.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, the reason why they think it's a Gen Z thing is because we're all so fried in the brain, I think. Everybody who has a phone, I think, is ultimately pretty fried from their version of like TikTok, WhatsApp, Facebook, whatever fucking their drug is on the phone. And I think everybody is a bit like sex repulsed, to some extent, because of the internet. You don't know what people's intentions are, and there's like, and you didn't know before the internet, but like the internet has changed things. It's added more levels to what might have been before, like a person coming up to you at the bus stop and being like, "What do you think of that movie?" Now it's like, is this person wearing Meta Ray-Ban glasses? Am I now in a picking up girls video? It's like that's the fear, seriously, for like women out there. But also, yeah, it's and that literally, that video is a byproduct of like a overly sex mentioned culture. That being said, though, I think if it's narratively purposeful, then it's whatever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, even if it's not narratively purposeful, sometimes it's just like, fun.
There you go. I mean, that's the thing. It's all taste. It's all taste, and it's all like personal preference. And obviously, religious people are not gonna like sex scenes in their movies. That's been.
I don't think so. I'm quite a religious person.
Well, there you go. Some people will, some people won't.
Yeah.
But like you go see those comments, and it's like. Repent because whatever, you saw a sex scene or whatever. It's that's like obviously not the point of what I'm trying to make, but like that culture will never go away, and we will continue having this conversation until everybody kind of realizes like it's not all bad, and they can be kind of useless, but
I think I find sexual violence gratuitous.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's like sometimes.
But that's something else.
I don't need to see that.
That's something totally different. Yeah.
If I see like, and I think
hate Euphoria.
But if it's something like fun, I'm like, all right, let's put this on.
A really good recent movie that did that was a movie called Hitman.
Ooh, yeah.
And that had a movie.
That's quite old.
It's called No. You should watch this. It's a Richard Linklater movie.
Yes, that Hitman. Yes.
And the lady from Andor, who is amazing.
Fuck, I can get this.
She's very, very talented.
Yeah, I want to say Eliza something though.
No, you're thinking of someone else, but I know who you're thinking of. But she was great, and that movie, it has sex scenes in it, but it never feels like gratuitous. It always feels purposeful to the plot and kind of important, and dare I say it, kind of horny.
Well, Wolf of Wall Street, for example, has a lot of gratuitous nudity. But it's kind of fun. It's like it's adding. It's not
fun,
adding to the
and
plot.
Also like they're trying to make a point with it.
Yeah,
Scorsese is trying to say something, and like the whole
debauchery
and this and that, and like the extremes that you can go to, and people are taking it as like the best case scenario is where you think, oh yeah, it's fun and whatever. But
because it's showing how ridiculous.
It's showing how ridiculous you get it. But
it's not a plot point.
But this is the thing. Some people will think, oh, it's fun, and then go the entire way completely different and be like, oh, it's fun. I'm gonna become Jordan Belfort.
Well, that's nothing to do with. I don't think that's.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, a lot of people have that. You know.
Yeah, exactly. But that's how people consume.
I have a lot
movies.
of friends from university who became like finance bros in New York. They've got the. It's so pathetic. The Wolf of Wall Street poster up in your room.
No.
Now that we're closer to 30, I think they've all come down.
Yeah. That's embarrassing to have posts.
If you went to a frat party,
Gosh.
you'd see a few Wolf of Wall Street, American Psycho poster.
American Psycho.
It's like, oh, do you like that film? It's like, bro, he's so cool in that. It's like, you really didn't get this.
He's not meant to be cool, man. And I'm so glad they're making a new one, and they're making it overtly like.
No, because it's too heavy-handed. You know?
I mean, it's too heavy-handed, but it comes right back around to Superman.
Yeah.
Superman. This movie is very, very heavy-handed, and it is like. It is the age of being overt messaging, front and center. There's
You
no
think so?
holding back.
You think there's no room for subtlety anymore?
Not really. Look at the the 10 layers of irony that every Gen Z person lives behind.
Yeah.
Nobody has been serious a day in their life since 2020, at the minimum. And I feel like it's just been calculated, like slowly coming towards, and you see a lot of TikToks and Instagram posts and tweets and stuff now being like, I came out of Superman, I want to be the best person ever, and well, those are funny obviously, but like that's what the time we're living in. Like, people are affected by big bold statements, subtlety. We witnessed kind of the death of it in a way. Like, not to say that the stuff that was being made, the films that were being made 10 years ago are super subtle or whatever, but there's places for subtlety, and I think we live in an age of like maximalism.
Well, I think we've gone through this great renaissance in horror for the last like 8 years, I'd say. Because like when I was growing up, horror films were kind of shit.
They were jump scary.
Yeah, but before me, it was like, you know, the 90s.
It was 80s. The schlocky horror,
which were like really great. And then since like Get Out, let's just say, I'm not going to credit it to Get Out, but like, it's a great film. There's like,
it is the Get Out effect in some way.
And then there's a huge horror and A24 and stuff like that. But those horror films are incredibly successful, incredibly popular amongst like the age groups we're talking about. And there's a huge amount of subtlety in the messages of those films. Because you think like, okay, like The Babadook.
Right.
It's a creepy dude living in the closet.
Yeah.
But it's like all about grief and depression. Or things
exactly,
like that. Or same with like a lot of them are actually about grief and depression.
Most of them are hereditary about grief and depression.
Can't wait for the one that comes out about ADHD.
What's the one with the sun? Florence Pugh's in that one. 2019.
Oh, Florence, Midsummer.
Midsummer. That's
Great
also
film.
about
Fantastic.
loss and, I guess.
The one with the sun.
Midsummer. The one with the sun.
That's such a funny way of putting
well,
it.
It's hereditary in the sun. It's that movie again. But
you get that. I think also like Florence Pugh's gave a bit of airtime. I think she's a fantastic actress.
Yeah, she's really good.
But I love her sad face. It's just so like.
It's so real, and
like,
it's so like,
it's like so
great.
cartoonish.
It's so cartoonish.
And it's quite sweet as well. So
it's very sweet. That's
you
the
feel
thing.
really bad.
You feel bad. You feel like it's like a
just
like a sad mouse. I watched Thunderbolt. She was great in that.
Yeah, Thunderbolts was fantastic. Let's try these Qatar.
These are okay. So these are.
You want to do some sponsor branding?
This is
Omani.
Chips Oman, and I used to get this in Qatar off of my friend Amir, and he
shout out Amir.
Shout out Amir. I didn't used to bring in lunch, and he used to just give me Chips Oman, and this is what you can read Arabic, I guess.
That was a big. This
is like a.
That was a big assumption. Baswa.
The entire word means batatas.
Batatas. Okay.
Potatoes.
And then this one is kha.
Oman.
Oman. I would have gone the man.
There you go. Come on. Yeah, no, that's true. You're saying the right stuff. But yeah, take a.
What's the flavor?
Oman.
You can really taste the Oman.
You can really taste the Oman. It's a little bit of spicy Oman.
You can taste the Oman in that.
I never find these in London.
This thing you bring?
This is no. I mean, I found it in a corner shop.
Oh, nice.
And in my local, and I never see them anywhere. But yeah, the more Arabs that come to England, please bring these with you.
I think we want more Arabs in England. Just
it would change up the culture. We need
not
more.
In my area. My area is pretty saturated.
We need more Latin people. We need more
there's
Arabs.
Definitely need for Latin people.
We need more Latin people
because
in
Mexican
London.
food is pretty bad.
I am not eating fucking that one taco place. Oaxaca. Yo, just get that shit out of here.
Yeah,
please bring some real food.
And then I saw like, I think we might have been a Top Job video or something like that, where like, what's the best Mexican place in London? And they're like, yeah, it's this great one in like Regent's Park. It's like a 5-star restaurant. It's like, that's not what I want. I want some dirty tacos.
Exactly.
And a little food truck maybe. I want my guy to be like, be sweating. Sweating from a potential ice raid.
But this is the thing, it's England, so that would, who would have been?
The home office is about to come get him.
Yeah. But I'm sure people. I'm sure like this is the thing. The Latin community in England exists. So I'm sure they've made those jokes. Before.
No, we have like Venezuelans. I like MI6 there. It's like James Bond. The new James Bond. He's trying to get rid of
But this is the thing. James Bond, the modern James Bond, is gonna have to like acknowledge the fact that England is so brown now. Like they have to.
Actually,
every comic that comes from America, Australia, whatever, and who at least has like an edgy kind of reputation, comes to London, and the first fucking touch ground joke they do is, "Good to be in London. I'm already Muslim," or whatever. It's like
no, but I actually think that that's overplayed because London
yeah,
has a great community and it's stuff like that.
it does.
But if you go to like other places, which I don't know how often you do, I do by force find myself in the country quite often.
Yeah.
And there is far less. Like there's a great James Acaster thing when he's doing an interview in wherever he's from, Kettering or something like that.
Yeah.
I know that because of that stupid song.
Because that's
it's a great bit, but God. And he's there and he's like, yeah, what's the problem? He's like, well, you got all these immigrants coming around. They're everywhere. And he's like, not right now. He's like, not right now. it's just like I butchered it, but like it's a fantastic bit because you can go to these places and there's so like, but they're like, I don't get me wrong, Southall, Wembley, East Ham, Birmingham.
Yeah.
You know, but also
in random places.
Yeah, fucking holding up the economy as well.
Yeah, and they're all, you know, the cornerstones like you said, and it's gonna have to acknowledge that
the UK's like GDP growth in the last like 5 years has been pretty poor.
Yeah.
You take away the brown people.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
It's gonna be even worse.
It's gonna be terrible. They only kicked out Eastern Europeans right now. Oh my gosh.
But that's a weird little tangent. Oh, it is not a weird tangent because a lot of people are complaining. Oh, watch me loop it back.
Yeah,
this is professional stuff right here. Put me on GB News. That's my dream.
Being a caller for GB News.
I want to be host on GB News. But they so like, you know, immigrants in England. One big complaint that people had about Superman was that he refers to himself as an immigrant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, this is the thing.
But he's an illegal immigrant.
Well, yeah, that's what.
Did he go through customs?
I mean, people will call immigrants aliens and not call the literal alien an immigrant.
Yeah.
And that's what's like the grand hypocrisy here. But that being said, that is a great line for a modern Superman. And also a line that I think the internet has been repeating to each other for a minute anyway. And so, like, there's no discussion really on whether if he's an immigrant or not. We've had, like, the reason it's mentioned in the film, and this is why I bring it back to the idea of this movie using the knowledge that we know of Superman. We know he uses laser eyes and freeze breath or whatever, and he can fly and this and that. So that's all information we know, and they use that. And so same with this thing. It's like we know Superman is a certain way, so using that knowledge. Let's see what we can do with the story, and that comes back.
That's pretty great. I do actually. It is a classic thing for Superman to say in this film. Because let's think about it. He's how old do you think? 30?
30, yeah. He grew up in that corny millennial generation.
He's 30 years old, works in media, wears glasses.
Oh my gosh.
And in New York.
Yeah.
Claiming immigrant status.
Literally. Oh my gosh, bro. He probably lives in the metropolis version of Bushwick or whatever.
He's in a situationship.
He's in a situationship with Lois. 3-month situation. This is the most Gen Z Superman we've ever seen.
And told her he loved her.
And told her he loved her.
That was blocked.
3 months in, Superman told her he loved her. That's the most Gen Z Superman I've ever seen.
That's pretty bonkers move. You ever done that? 3 months in, love bomb. You ever love bomb, buddy?
I wouldn't call it love bombing.
I actually don't know what love bombing is. I think I was just watching something. It might have been that new Lena Dunham show, which is not good. It was either that or Four Seasons, which is very good. Those are 2 shows I'm watching at the moment. And then, I was watching. But anyway, someone goes like love bombing, and they're like, "What is that?" It's like, just like overly like, is it just being nice to someone? Sounds like you're just being really nice to someone.
Well, that's what's crazy is.
What is love bombing? I don't know.
I think what they mean when people say love bombing is, is literally being like overtly, oh my gosh, you're beautiful, I love you, in like literally like a week.
That's
or
what I
2
do to
weeks.
every woman I meet.
There you go. And that different guys got different game, and my game is different. I'm more of I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait to see what they do.
No, I'm just like, you're so pretty.
The constant anxiousness never leaves. So yeah.
They're interesting. Yeah, so this is a very Gen Z, millennial New York.
It is.
fucking
Yeah.
guy.
He and as soon as like his
Stupid fit.
stupid outfit.
Like if you think about it.
Yeah, very stupid.
You would
yeah,
see
yeah.
that at some
that's
sort
why
of
that's why I love
queer
about
rave.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, definitely. I mean,
If it was black, he'd be in Burgoyne.
But I don't get that reference, but yeah, I'm with that.
No,
Yeah.
if it was the all black outfit, he'd be in like some sort of German latex.
Oh
club,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, definitely.
Pants on the outside.
Oh,
like
he
this
is
fucking-
the yeah. But that's what I like about this movie is it's so unabashedly 2025. It's so unabashedly this time in the same way that Christopher Reeve's Superman was so unabashedly of its time. He goes through the building thingy to switch the thing. There's a joke in that movie that's obsolete now. He goes up to a phone thingy, a phone
Box.
a phone box, and it's meant to be a booth. And in older times, he would have changed it in the booth in the TV shows. And that was a joke in 1978, and it did the same thing that this movie does. It used the public's knowledge of Superman's powers, of what they've seen of Superman in movies and media, to inform that choice. And when he makes that choice in Christopher Reeve's Superman movie, when he goes to the phone box and he's like, shit, I can't change in here, and then he goes to the thingy. That's a choice that can only really be made in 1978. Have you seen a fucking phone box nowadays? They don't exist. So
Well, they do in London.
Well, they do in London, but they
they're
connect to
for
Wi-Fi
tourists.
as well nowadays. I
They're
don't
for
know why.
tourists,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
they're filled with call girl.
Yeah, exactly. They're filmed with
I heard.
stickers. He's never been near any of those. But this movie puts all these characters in 2025 unabashedly. They're not hiding behind. They're not saying like, it's a take that's not trying to be coy about its statement. You know what I mean? So many movies before this, Marvel movies specifically, have been so coy about their statement. How many times have you seen a fucking Marvel movie where the villains are very justifiable people, like
I don't know.
like Killmonger
sure.
and Captain America and the Winter Soldier? They had a show where literally, like episode 5 or 6, that show is a shambles structurally, but episode 5 or 6. Literally, the villains who have been are pitched as these kind of like socialist warriors and no borders kind of people, and they hate the idea of Captain America because he's an American puppet, blah blah blah, that kind of thing. And they don't say that overtly, but the point of their organization is like no borders, no flags, no nothing, and. Literally up until episode 5, they're helping people. They're setting up things.
They
and
do
then
one
episode
little
5
terrorist
and
attack.
and then oh my gosh, I clicked the button and 100 hostages died. What kind of writing is that, dude? Like,
I don't even think that's what happened. They did like an attack to like steal supplies for people.
There you go,
and then,
in
like,
the show.
3
yeah,
people
yeah.
died.
And yeah,
And they're,
exactly.
like, I don't believe in the term collateral damage, but that was kind of collateral damage.
But
also,
this-
if you're the security guard
yeah.
and superpowered humans come in, this isn't worth.
No,
this isn't worth the £15 an hour.
Yeah, exactly, exactly. And like, literally. Any guard in any superhero movie is always above your pay grade, bro. Step aside and let Superman or Batman go through.
We do have a security guard at our Sainsbury's down the road, and then after that he goes. He's such a good guy. I don't know him super well. Actually, I don't know what he's up to in his free time, but he's very nice. And so he's at the Sainsbury's till 11, and then from that he goes to the Nisa Local on Oxford Road, which is open like quite late. So he's there for like 3, and I think he might put his life on the line for Sainsbury's.
There's always those types of people, man. There's always those types of people that just. Listen, they would die for the badge, even if that badge says Asda.
Even if the badge is that like weird one with like
with
an ID.
Yeah, with the thing that people wear to put their iPod in when they work out and then they run. It's like a strap that people used to have. They don't make that anymore.
I'm dying for that.
Yeah. Why do security guards have that?
Yeah. I do like they do it sometimes in superhero films. You can't do it too much because it'll get stale.
Yeah.
But when a guy, so Iron Man 3 has one where like Iron Man lands and then one guy has a gun. He just goes, I just work here. These people are so weird.
I love that moment. It's so
Or like also in Dark Knight, they like have their guns out and then one guy shoots and then they go, we're sorry.
I know exactly. Literally, and that's like the most humor that's in those movies. But no, Dark Knight specifically. But yeah, that's what's great about. And I'm sure everybody's mentioned this, but like this is the big point, is that Hawkgirl kills Netanyahu in this movie,
Yes.
and that's like kind of a thing to support this idea of the messaging in general just becoming way more overt, because we all, the knowledge of the fact that we all live behind 10 layers of irony now has reached everybody. It's no longer just a thing that young people know. It's a thing that older people, everybody knows now. And so you have to be overt and you have to be blatant and
I see, that's
leave nothing out, really. You can't be subtle, really.
I agree. I agree with
That's why this thing is so popular. It's like
Yeah.
the masses are acting like the masses now. They're not acting like opinionated people like people did like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Whereas like we're watching it in, people are watching Superman in waves. That's the level we've reached as a society.
I agree with everything you're saying, but I do still think in cinema there's a lot of room for subtlety.
Oh
And,
yeah,
and then, like,
but that's what's
kind
great about this movie, is they know the opportunity they have, and they know that we're in an era of so much irony and so much. We're post irony, we're post blah blah blah, and people are saying, people still agree, people still want subtle films. Definitely, I want subtle films, but they know the opportunity that they have here, and I think my love for this movie, or my adoration for this movie, is from the fact that they know what this is, and they know what they're trying to do, and they know what they can make happen if they tell a story. They know the circumstances. They know who's going to be watching. The whole world's watching. If you make a Superman movie, the whole world's going to be watching. So it's I think they took advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, I don't want my Superman to be subtle, to be honest. I
I
want those films to be big.
Exactly.
And
You want maybe the side characters, maybe Mr. Terrific when they do the spin-off of his movie. Maybe you go into detail. That's a character I want to know more about. Everybody knows Superman, so there's no like question. You know what I mean? I think that's what's really excellent about this film, is that they know that everybody knows Superman, so they're not worrying with, oh, let's explain this and let's explain this part of Superman. Let's explain this. It's like, no, this is you know what Superman is. These are the plots. Obviously, you have people like your friend who will go in, but still, you get, it's so simple and it's so overt messaging that you get it immediately. You know Lex Luthor's the villain. You know Superman's the good guy. It's self-explanatory. And
but even that friend of mine who like didn't get what was going on, that's what I could talk about a little bit. He did appreciate the aesthetic of the film. Yeah. So the way it was shot,
right?
The colors.
Yeah.
Some of that, it was like very pleasing to watch.
Yeah,
and,
definitely.
So taking it back to Man of Steel, dark, gritty, toned down, not very fun.
Yeah, and whereas that was a product of its time. 2013. Look at all the chain smokers music videos. They all fucking look like Man of Steel, dude. They all look like flat movies with. Okay, Man of Steel looked pretty good. Let's be. I will give it that.
No, but the colors were very dark.
But the colors were very dark, and that doesn't fit a Superman movie. And when he puts the suit on, it's like he doesn't stand out from the rest of the world. That's the point of Superman. And so this movie, obviously, the entire world is this bombastic, fucking big moving set. But that's what I like about DC. That's what I've always loved about DC, is that it will consistently do the most maximalist thing. Marvel, I think, gets away often with they try to do subtlety. Like Civil War tries to be a little subtle with like its messaging in terms of what side do you stand on, blah blah blah. Black Panther tries to be a little subtle, but they're trying to be subtle, and I think this movie is not trying to be subtle, and I think it's better off for that. You shouldn't attempt to be subtle when you kind of know that it's Superman. You don't need to be. People know what it is, so I've never understood this. Oh, you've got to show 30 minutes on Krypton to show.
Yeah, that's all. Especially when, now, I love that we've strayed away from that. So, like, as you're saying, if we did a Mr. Terrific thing, yeah, we do need an origin story.
You do
or
need
actually,
an
more specifically,
or just some backstory, something to
more pertinently, I'd say.
Yeah. You know less about him.
What's his cousin? She has a film coming out with Millie Alcock playing the cousin. And she has like a little cameo.
Oh my gosh, I love Supergirl, Millie Alcock.
Supergirl, that's the character. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she is
so there's a film coming out with her as Supergirl, and that one we'll need a bit more like.
But that's what, and this is what
but Superman,
I love.
Batman, Spider-Man.
Think
Iron
about
Man, I think we all know.
think about the reason why you didn't see anything on really Krypton in this movie.
Yeah.
It's Superman. He came here when he was a baby, and the reason why Supergirl is drunk at the end of the movie, some people were talking about that, is a direct. It's a reference to. It's a continuation to. Of the comic Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow, which I just ordered on the way here because I read up on it and I'm like, well, this makes a lot of sense. It basically the loose idea is that if you think about it, she is really the only person who's really like is the sole survivor of Krypton because she experienced Krypton. She was like a kid in Krypton.
Yeah.
And so when she got sent away with Clark and she got like sent into time dilation, space part, whatever, and she came to Earth a bit later when Clark was an adult. She still came with the knowledge. She's experienced Krypton, blah blah blah.
Her home is actually
her home is actually gone. Yeah,
whereas
Superman was technically human.
Yeah.
That's the point they make in the movie, and so that's what I think is more interesting about her movie. Is it's just been announced today. It's coming out 2026, and the poster and blah blah blah. But that's what's so exciting about this movie is that she is clearly a different person, and she clearly has different experiences, and that's the great thing about Superman is that if you put people around him, you can make them interesting, and you can tell the story a bit better by having them as foils.
Nice.
And so no, I love Supergirl. Cameo is great. Millie Alcock looks great as Supergirl, and I like that she's like a little bit of like a party girl, drunk, that kind of thing. That's yeah, really love the movie. Yeah, and you know what? I'll make this point. I really liked that they put Superman, I really liked that they put the Supergirl scene in the actual movie and not have it be a post-credit
Okay, so
scene.
I didn't stick around. Was there post-credit scene?
There were two, but
Yeah.
but this is the great thing. They're back to being post-credit scenes. You don't have to
You don't have
see
to watch
them.
them. They're just silly.
They're just little silly scenes.
Okay.
The first one's he's on the moon with Krypto, and then the second one, him and Mr. Terrific are, when they put the city back together.
Yeah.
They're arguing on. Superman says, "Oh, you might have put it in a bit off. One of them's a bit higher," and Mr. Terrific goes, "What the hell?"
Yeah, okay, I get
And
it.
then Superman characteristically is upset that he upset Mr. Terrific. And so that scene. That's what post-credit scene should be. It's an additional scene that just colors in a little bit more, and it's not meant to be a promise for the next movie. That's what the main movie's for. That's what you set up in the movie.
We want to talk about what will be the star of this film.
Yeah.
Krypto the dog.
Oh,
Beck
I
Bennett,
loved
I mean.
Krypto.
First of all, Beck Bennett.
Beck Bennett, yeah, from
Great
SNL.
to see Beck Bennett.
Great to see. Honestly, it gave me hope for the future.
I was like, wait, Becky boy. I was a big fan of Beck.
No, I
Beck
saw
is
that.
actually weirdly one of my university WhatsApp groups. Profile picture was a picture of Beck.
Really?
Because he's like, he's funny, and also he's just
Right.
like
Well, he was on SNL, I assume.
yeah,
when you
SNL, and
were-
he was doing his sketches on SNL were always
Right.
great, and then also his him and Kyle's like.
Oh, they made
YouTube
amazing
stuff is
videos.
great.
Yeah.
And also just something about Beck Bennett is funny. Like just
he
something,
is. No,
just something
he is
about
the
it.
funniest. I've watched a lot of SNL cast interviews, and before I said Superman, I was gonna ask if we could do Saturday Night, the movie about SNL.
Oh yeah.
And like, I've watched a couple of SNL interviews. overwhelmingly say Beck Bennett is a very nice person. by
Yeah,
all
he's
intents.
just been like he's just funny. I don't know.
Yeah, but he's very good. But that's the thing. That's what makes that's what, like,
old
nice
Becky
people
boy,
funny,
and
yeah.
good to see Becky boys, working.
Yeah,
And he's
yeah.
he's got a little Superman
Good to-
character, and
good
he had a
to
good
see
character
that.
in it and stuff.
So yeah, he had a little.
There was a little bit
character,
of underutilized characters in the actors. Sorry, so
Yeah,
Wendell
that's
Pierce
what-
Jr. from The Wire.
Yeah, Wendell Pierce. That's something I would
Buried
get on. Some people didn't like
Beck Bennett
Beck
was barely
Bennett.
used.
Some people didn't like Beck Bennett
Oh, why?
because he was a little bit
underutilized,
underutilized,
yeah.
in the sense of like he kind of doesn't do anything really.
But
He's
but
kinda
the
just
people
there
don't
for-
complain about that. Like when you watch Oppenheimer, you don't complain that there's like underutilized actors. There.
Right,
It's
yeah.
about getting the best actor for the
Well,
role.
that's the thing, and they want to do it clearly. So
yeah. So I don't really mind that.
yeah.
And then the real star
Krypto the
is
dog.
Beck Bennett, but yeah, Krypto the dog.
Yeah, he's going back on Beck Bennett. Krypto the dog, and I really liked that they made him like a real like fucker.
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
real
I thought that was a
annoying
really good
dog.
move because like
And he goes. He's not even a really good dog, but you know what? He's scared and he's out
Yeah,
there,
and he
so I'll
needs
get him.
he it's good like throwing Krypto as a bad dog.
Yeah.
Because and that's very James because there were some very classic James Gunn moments in this.
Mm-hmm.
One, Krypto being kind of useless is classic James Gunn,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a good twist because like people are gonna love the dog. People are gonna love the dog.
And then they're gonna
So a
say,
lot of
"Why
peop-
can't the dog do
No,
this?"
a
and
lot
this
of
and
people
this?"
would tease. A lot of people will make the dog a more lovable character.
Right.
But you don't need to. They're already gonna love it.
Yeah, exactly.
So and people do find cute things that get things wrong endearing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like Baby Groot and all these sort of things. Like people love Baby Groot because he doesn't know what he's
You
doing.
know what? The trend of movies and TV trying to post Mandalorian, trying to create a Baby Yoda / post Guardians of the Galaxy, trying to create a Baby Groot. That's multiple franchises have tried that. Sonic has tried that. A bunch of movies have tried this animated character as a baby. Isn't he cute?
Yeah.
Please buy this plushie.
The Caddyshack.
And so this is the only really one that like pulls it off since Mandalorian, the cute but powerful thing that can that can kill you, but it's cute. So and
because he's a little shit.
because he's a little shit, and I like that. I like that. Like
If he was just like a very loyal dog, again, that would have been very very boring.
That would have been very boring.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think in a Zack Snyder, say for some reason Warner Brothers forced Zack Snyder to put
Yeah.
Krypto in Man of Steel.
It would have been a
probably
loyal
would have been
hound.
that. It
Yeah.
probably would have been a hound or just say Warner Brothers is you have to make him superpowered dog.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to do that clearly because he's Zack Snyder. I think it probably would have been one of those situations where it's like, oh no, the dog, he got his powers taken away.
I think it would have just been like a good dog.
Yeah, it would have been
having a
just,
shifty dog was great.
yeah.
And also
He would have been a good dog. That's the thing. It would have been the boring choice. I
Yeah.
think this is
The other great little James Gunnism, if you will, was when they let the little monster out of the cage.
Oh, I love that.
And then he just runs off like, ah!
Yeah, I loved it, and I love the
This is
two
very
the
like-
two goons that pull up on like at a road just outside of Metropolis. They let the thing out the little like crate, and it just bottles off or whatever. That felt so 1978 Superman to me, with the little goons doing little side quests, and then it ends up literally the next shot of him is him stomping down on Superman. It's like, that's great, because he there's no scenes wasted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He goes straight to the point. That you know what that's gonna happen. So.
They don't establish stuff very much, which
Yeah.
is great. Well, it depends on the film. For this film, it's great.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of things we were applauding in this film, if we saw it in, say, The Brutalist, you'd be like, that was weird.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah, that'd be terrible. That'd be
But another thing, that you just remind me of, that Superman's fighting monsters, things like that. Nobody's dying.
Nobody's dying. He saved a squirrel. He's saving people with turtles in their things.
The Man of Steel had this, like, wanted to do this realistic thing where, like, Superman's coming to terms with the fact that when they have these fights, a lot of people die.
Right.
And that, they're very real, very whatever.
Right.
But in this one, cartoonishly, it's like Superman is saving everyone. Even when a floor of a building catches fire, Superman checks it and they're like, yeah, we're all good. Adds to like the greatness of Superman.
It adds to the greatness, and it adds to the Superman. Like it adds to that whole idea. Like, it's not him being a man who with superpowers. It's a superpowered man who is challenged to do good.
Yeah, I want to, because when I'm coming to Superman film, I want to suspend disbelief, and I want to picture good things. I want to see, you know, Superman save every civilian. I want to see the bad guy get taken away. I want to see Palestine free at the end.
Yes, exactly, man. Oh my God, I love that part.
I want to see it all happen. That's what I want from a Superman film.
No, seriously, it leaves you with so much hope, and it leaves you with so much like, gosh, this is what a Superman movie. Forget comic books. This is what Superman movie is meant to feel like. Is imbue you with hope and imbue you with a sense of like goodness, because that's what it's meant to do, is inspire. So that's
That's great. Yeah, it seems like you really love the film, which is great to have.
I loved it, and I still have my critiques. I still think it's a little bit.
Is there
quick.
anything in your notes that you wanted to bring up?
I think it's just a little bit quick, and maybe one or two scenes maybe shouldn't have been there. I think maybe you add a little bit more with the parents. I think that was a missed opportunity, even though that you made a good point of like they say we'll leave it to you, and that kind of
they're
thing.
like Doofus parents.
And they use his parents the exact amount of scenes that you can use his parents in that in this film, but I think maybe a little bit more, maybe just a little bit more.
I do like that sort of like approach to it, because like I actually didn't watch. My brother loves Smallville, and I watch episodes sometimes when he, well, most of the time because he's an older brother. So
right.
Remote was in his hand.
Right.
It was that and Desperate Housewives, really.
Okay.
But yeah, I see episodes of Smallville, and the parents have been more involved and stuff like that. But I like the idea that Superman's parents were just like proper salt of the earth people.
They're not Hollywood models. They're not
they were just like, hey Clark,
people.
what do you want to do?
Yeah,
he was like, yo, you want to hang out here? You can hang out here. You can go to Metropolis.
That's what's great.
Do whatever you want to do.
That's what's great. They're not trying to.
Very low expectation. But
they know they're human. That's the thing. Man of Steel had this thing of like, this is your destiny, Clark. You have to save humanity. What are you talking about,
what a
dude?
weird pressure to put on this guy.
That's Kevin Costner.
Yeah, that's your Kevin Costner.
That's my Kevin Costner. Should I just let them kids die? Maybe.
Yellowstone.
What is that? Is that Yellowstone and Kevin Costner? No, but like that's a scene from Man of Steel, which is like when he goes, I should have just left those kids on the bus to die, and then Kevin Costner as Superman's dad, Jonathan Kent, goes, maybe. What kind of fucking message is that? Like, and that movie's all out of order. This is not a Man of Steel review, but like that you can see when you compare them why this is working now.
Yeah.
Why it didn't work before, and why at a moment like this they're clever to make it overt, and they're clever to not try and make it a layered message with deep meanings and shit like that, because frankly people don't really consume media like that. The mainstream we consume niche kind of content. The mainstream people, like the regular viewer who watches 2 films a year, is going out to see this film. This is one of the 3 films most people will watch this year. So
that's true.
That if you can do that, and if you can capture that audience member, then I think
the flyover states,
and the people who
bloody rude term,
who will scroll past a film that we might look at and be like, oh, I'll book tickets for that. And majority of the time they go, oh, Hollywood makes shit films nowadays, and we'll go, well, you don't see the films that we do. So that these are the types of people that you want to watch your film.
Not cultural elitists.
Not cultural elitists. You want like
the rest, like the people on Kino with Car.
No. This is the thing. It's I know that like we can have these conversations about like enjoying and not enjoying, but like most people's extent of like, it's not even searching up Superman Explained or Superman Easter eggs, blah blah blah, 100 Easter eggs, red arrow, red circle, blah blah blah. But like most people's experience in film, in any discussion of film, is talking to the cashier and talking to their mom and their friend, and it's never a crazy like opinion. It's never like what the opinions we see. They'll maybe hear a tenth of what we've heard about this film, because they're not tapped in like that and they don't care.
That's the other thing. It's not like whether they're they're tapped into things. They just genuinely have other.
They don't
interests.
care, and
they have more fulfilling lives.
They have more fulfilling lives. They're doing better things, and they're with people they love. And they're spending time with loved ones. And so
Whereas I'm looking up Mr. Terrific Origin
yeah,
YouTube.
Mr. Terrific Origin comic issues 1 to 9.
There's one character we should talk about before you leave.
Yeah.
Briefly. She's not in the film much, but a favorite of mine from Justice League, the animated.
Hawkgirl.
Oh, Isabella Merced.
Amazing. Dora killed Netanyahu, by the way. That happened in this movie.
That's what happens in Superman. Dora the Explorer kills.
Dora the Explorer dropped Netanyahu from the sky.
Kills old BB Netanyahu.
Just cartoonishly.
Also, punks him out a little.
Punks? Oh, yeah. He goes, oh, you're like Superman. You won't kill me.
It's like, brother.
Am I?
Brother.
I am not Superman. Man. That's what I love about this movie. But Superman kills as well, but like obviously he tries not to. And like this is the great thing about this movie is that everybody's their own person. Everybody's their own character.
Is Hawkgirl screaming in the comics?
She does, yeah.
Okay, she didn't do that in the Justice League.
Well, I mean,
so I was like, what is going on?
In battle, yeah. This is the thing. She in live action, I don't think she screamed before.
Yeah.
In the comics, definitely.
Yeah.
And so that's something I think like was fun. It's like you said, certain people I'm sure have seen Hawkgirl. Hawkgirl was on the CW's Arrowverse, a bunch of episodes of that, a bunch of seasons of that, and so people have different ideas. And this movie, it brings that screaming part. It wasn't in the other shit. So it brings a new element, and it brings a new thing, and it brings a new discussion point. And
I thought she was getting it. I think she's a great actress.
And she's absolutely going to get a spin-off.
In, Instant Family.
She's in
Mark
Instant
Wahlberg,
Family,
which was a great film. Just a great one of the last decade's good family comedies.
Right. They don't make a family comedy anymore.
They don't make
really
it.
don't.
They
Mark Wahlberg's a terrible guy, but they don't make a
why is Mark Wahlberg terrible?
He like hate crimed a bunch of Vietnamese people.
He was like 17 and Southie. It's fine.
this is the thing. It's like Southie, dude.
I think people say that a lot. I looked it up. It was like he called him a slur while he did it, but like it's made a hate crime. But it's also like that's just how people. I want to say
greet
used to
each
talk.
other.
No, I want to say how he used to, but. You know, I did some stand up and stuff.
He did a lot of hate crime.
Yeah, I was doing a lot of hate crimes. Yeah, I wanted to get in touch about doing stand up and stuff one more, but whatever. Next time you're around.
Right.
And then, because we're hitting up our time soon.
Yeah.
People don't even want 20 minutes of this.
Right. But cut a lot of this.
But no, you talk about a little bit, like because you talked about a little bit of censorship and stuff like that. Did you do stand up ever when you were in Qatar or Singapore?
No, because I turned 18 in Qatar and then I moved 2021, so lockdown was still happening in Qatar.
Yeah.
So, and also, I don't think I'd be privy to the gigs that they do in Qatar,
nice.
which would probably only be in like a hotel or something like that.
Yeah, that's fair. Because like I always feel like, because I grew up in Hong Kong, and there's a great, not huge, but it's a very popular and widespread stand-up scene.
Right.
The amount of comics isn't huge.
Right.
But I mean, it's still quite a lot though. There's people trying to get gigs.
Right.
That's fine.
Okay.
And people will always be like to me like, oh yeah, like, you know, oh, can you say what you want in Hong Kong and stuff?
Right.
I'm like, yeah, they do whatever they want. They like shit on the Chinese, they shit on the Americans and stuff like that. It's actually one of my favorite places to do comedy because it's a good, I mean, I think you might have experienced in Singapore and stuff like that, where like there's an understanding of Asian culture,
right?
American,
yeah,
European,
yeah.
So you can make a joke about almost
anything,
and then it lands,
yeah.
You know, which I always thought was very cool.
Southeast Asia.
I don't know if you experienced that.
Good and bad, but yeah, no, definitely.
All right, well, we'll wrap this up a little bit. With the tradition here, is you have to give the film a rating out of 2 thumbs. The 2 thumbs you have, and I do 2 thumbs I have.
Okay.
You can give 1 or halves.
Okay.
So like 1.5,
okay,
0.5.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna do it at the same time.
Okay.
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
I mean, I gave it 1 thumbs up. I mean, I do like it, but it's not a perfect film, so I probably wouldn't give it 2 thumbs up. But I do like it, so maybe like a
1.5.
Yeah, 1.5.
I did 1.5 because objectively, like, there's problems with the films and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like the way we talked about it, like when we were just talking about it for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
How many of those problems did we bring up?
Not many.
Because the film is so fun.
It's so fun.
It's a fun movie.
And if you don't like something, it'll cut away soon.
Yeah.
So there you go.
There is something like, I talk about a lot sometimes how there is a currency in film that's very hard to get, which is cool.
Yeah.
So like Sinners was cool.
Yeah.
Tarantino films are usually cool.
Yeah.
And you can't like write it. You can't like, it's just something that a film has or it doesn't.
Yeah.
And fun is another one.
Yeah.
I think. And this film is fun.
Yeah.
So when you sit down and watch it, like I would be happy if like someone came over tonight. I was like, oh, should we put on Superman? I'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
I can watch it. Well, it's like, it's well directed. It's well colored. Everything's
Most
like
comic
fun.
book films are not rewatchable even immediately sometimes. So this is
well, like Black Panther 2, fantastic film.
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it again. Right
Yeah,
now.
I don't want to cry.
It's so sad.
Yeah, I don't. I don't want to. Yeah, and that's a really good film too. That's one of the ones that Marvel, I don't think they even knew they were putting one that good out. So, yeah, no, that's.
So that's a total of 3 thumbs for us, which I think is pretty solid. As the film's ratings go, I think it might be top of the ratings so far.
Yeah.
Do you have anything you want to plug?
Yes, my Instagram and TikTok. Please follow me there. Osman SSESSESS. Thank you very much. Please follow me on TikTok.
Also, you have.
Also, I have a show in Edinburgh. I don't know if you're gonna come to Edinburgh, but please come to Edinburgh and watch me and my friend John Gibbons do a show called Some Young Boys. It's at the
Some Young
Caves.
Boys.
Yeah, it's that's our pitch. Is people will be walking by and be like, I'll turn around.
Hubba.
With the paper. Yeah, hopefully they'll be like, I'm here to see some young boys. But yeah,
That's a great title, actually.
right?
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping. And so please, genuinely, I am doing a show 31st of July to 11th of August, right up to the halfway break of the Fringe. So if you're there, I'm in the Caves. So come by and say hello. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much. Thanks for being here, man.
Thank you.
Shukran, Habibi.
Bye.
I like that little high.
It was very high five.